Right? Got them set up. Look at their house. This is a really nice house. Nice bathroom. You like it?
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Burrs or Belly Dirt Stranad. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I'm gonna be your today's host, and I have so many stitches to put up here, and we are gonna come out to talk about it. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
Look at my boys out here all free. Living free and peaceful out here in the motherland. There we go.
Yeah, we about to get a good workout.
I told them.
Yeah, you gonna feel that. I did it in South Carolina. I was like, oh my God.
This is how life should be for our young kings.
You guys don't like black Americans at all.
I went to Tanzania and I was treated like royalty. Let's talk about Ghana. Ghana was one of the most beautiful countries that I ever visited. I had a family who opened up their home to me. They were feeding me 3 times a day. We were living by the beach. They were doing so much to just make me feel welcomed and loved. So this is for all of my African American people. Go to Africa. Go to the different countries that are there. Learn some of the languages, learn some of the cultures there, because this is the thing. There are more similarities than differences between Africans and African Americans. And we need to this narrative. We need to break the plane and start the conversation so that we can get to know each other and enjoy the beautiful continent that we call the motherland, Africa, Azania. Okay?
Have you guys seen this? This Philly youth group went to Ghana and it's been going viral all over TikTok. It was part of a non-profit organization and they were accompanied by chaperones. And they made this trip look like so much fun. They stayed in a 15-bedroom house in Ghana for a week. They did activities like canoeing. They were having fun at this huge pool as well. And it was even educational. They learned about carpentry during a workshop. And they saw historical sites as well. You can see that they went to see slave dungeons and the door of no return. And they gave back to the community. You can see them cleaning a beach in Ghana. And they were even playing drums with the local youth in Ghana as well. This Philly youth group, they accomplished a lot in 1 week. You could really tell that they're never going to forget this. And I really like how positive it was. They focused on unity rather than division. But let me know what you guys think about this trip. Comment below.
But do y'all see them Philly kids in Ghana? That shit made a nigga almost tear up, man. Like, it's so beautiful. It's something so beautiful about seeing kids.
You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
So the Philly kids that are in Ghana right now, right? It is so amazing to see them just appreciating the culture and just being happy. And the thing about it too is, like, I'm Ghanaian American, so I was born here. And one of the things that I've realized is, like, I went to Ghana pretty late in life, and Ghana feels like a big old HBCU. And if you know what it's like to go to an HBCU, then you know the feeling of being in a place where it's like you're the majority. And it's amazing. Like, seeing black people on a billboard everywhere, it can revolutionize you. And it's just like, you just feel free. Like, you're not Black Jen anymore. You're just Jen, which is my name. And I'm just so happy that those kids get to experience that. Also, when I went to the Door of No Return, I got to realize, like, how special and amazing black people are, to be ripped away from their culture, but to still retain all of those things. It's a strength.
The African men who were fighting British because they were suffering, they brought them and they killed them. Oh. It was a condemned cell. Please go low as we enter. And go into the last chamber. Go inside.
Look at this, they got Philly up there. Oh. This is the depth of the city, man. Sometimes you can't take the city outside the city, man.
Who did that?
So what's behind here? That's black dog.
Yeah, it's probably the door.
It's the same blood that is running through our veins. Whenever you feel like coming back, please come back. My grandfather always told me one thing. If you don't know where you are going, know where you are coming from. Know where you are coming from. So whatever they are doing to you over there, know that you have a home. Know how you have Wakanda. You have Africa. Motherland is still waiting and calling on you. Never forget, it all started from here. So when it's getting tough, remember that Motherland, Wakanda, Africa is calling on all of you. Come, let's build Ghana together. Come, let's make Africa a great continent again. They know that Africa is the most powerful continent in the world. That's why they don't want us to be like them. But they lie. When our time comes, we will overtake them.
Facts.
Black is power. They know it. Black is power. They know it. They are doing everything at the right time. The right time. When that time comes, all of us in unity, we are rising up and show them that enough is enough. And for that thing to happen, it will depend on you, it will depend on me, it will depend on you, and it will depend on all of us. It's not only one person fight. All of us need to come together. That's why I don't like it when brothers are fighting each other. It makes me sad. It hurts. How can...
Okay, I'm going to talk to you about my first time in Africa years ago. The moment I got to the hotel, I looked at the security guard there and noticed he didn't have a gun. And I was very uncomfortable with that because he was wearing a pair of sandals and no gun. They took me to my room. My door only had one lock. So I told the people at the hotel, I need a safe to hide my money in. This is not a safe place. So they brought me a little bitty safe that you could just carry around. And I said, all right, they must be trying to set me up. I know they're trying to set me up. So I stayed up that night and I went to sleep, got up that morning, and they woke, they called me for breakfast. I said, all right. So they're trying to lure me out of the room so while I'm eating breakfast, they can come in and rob me, take all my money. So I put all my money in my pocket and left about 1,000 CDs on the table. And when I got back, the money was still there. In fact, the room was clean. Okay? Now, my point is this. I was never going to give them a chance. I was never going to give them, in my mind, a chance to prove that they were not going to do anything. Every turn, they were going to try something underhanded and low down. You see, that is how Black Americans are programmed today. And it happens to us in our own country. Other groups think that way about us, whether we do something or not. And at that point, I had called my cousin and I said, hey, man, we got to change. We are wrong. When we come here with the wrong mindset. We should not be this way. Just because we're treated this way in our own country of birth doesn't mean that we have to act and behave the way that the oppressor behaves. So, my point in being is, because of those experiences, I even decided when I got home, I said, I'm not carrying a gun anymore. I'm not going to carry a weapon. I'm going to just give people the benefit of the doubt because I've seen better and I've learned better. All right. Thank you.
Shout out to them parents and them chaperones who took a group of 20 or 30 teenagers from Philly, took them on a trip of a lifetime over to Ghana. I saw that video before I went to bed last night. That's probably the dopest video I saw a while on this app. You know, we do a lot of diaspora wars and I never engage in it. Seeing them chaperones and parents take a group of 17, 15, 16-year-olds that they already had in a trade program to the other side of the world, to the continent of Africa, taking them to Ghana so they can see with their own eyes that the world... Hold on, I got the video I'm gonna play.
Taking a total of 20 kids, then we're taking 12 chaperones, so it's a total of 32 people.
In just about 15 hours, a group of Philadelphia teens is headed on what certainly will be a trip of a lifetime. They're leaving their neighborhoods and flying to Africa. The nearly 24 kids are traveling around 5,000 miles to Ghana tomorrow morning from New York City.
Really trying to dig deeper. You know, with all the gun violence that's going on in our city, we need to open up our minds. And just as crazy as it gets, we need to step the game up and do more.
Anton Moore leads Unity in the Community, the anti-gun violence organization behind the trip. The organization teaches trade skills to teens in Philadelphia, taking them off the streets and showing them a better way.
Why do you think it's important for other teens, young people like yourself, to go on this trip?
It's an eye-opener for real. Like I said, most people don't go outside the city.
Kamir Blackson is 17 years old and one of the 20 kids making that journey. He's been learning about carpentry for the last 2 years and tells NBC 10 this work can save lives.
It gives a way out. Most kids don't know a way out. Like, a couple of people don't know trades or don't know different.
That video symbolizes so much within our community. It shows black men stepping up within their community, engaging with young men. It shows young teenagers' ability, wanting to learn, and them getting involved in trade skills. Then it shows that, again, as we always say, the world is bigger than our little city that we were born in. As you heard the kid, like most kids never been out the city of Philadelphia. Every time we see Philly in the news, they're always showing some crime statistics. It shows solution. You always hear people say, well, what's the solutions? This is solution-based. You had a group of men and parents getting in the community and teaching these kids trade skills, but then saying, yo, we're going to show y'all, man, it's possible for you to get out of here. Like, there's a skit on Only Built for Cuban Links. I want to say Only Built for Cuban Links, but it's an album of Raekwon from Wu-Tang. And the skit is of Papa Wu. Rest in peace, Papa Wu. And he's speaking to Raekwon, and in part of it, he says, how far can thou travel? Thou can travel as far as the dimension that your mind can see. And I never forgot that skit that Papa Wu said on Raekwon's album. How far can thou travel? Thou can travel as far as the dimensions that your eyes or mind can see. And I'm paraphrasing it. Those kids from inner cities, whether it's Philly, whether it's Florida, whether it's New York, whether it's California, whether it's Detroit, those kids within our urban communities will be able to travel as far as the eyes can see. So if you're taking those kids, you showing them love, you teaching them trade skills, you now open their minds. Now it's not as impossible to make it out of Philadelphia without getting involved in gangs and gun violence. Now they're opening their mind. Oh, yo, we can network with black people on the other side of the world, on the continent of Africa. And I thought this was so dope because often on the internet we engage in this diaspora war between black Americans and other people and the diaspora. And this is dope for that reason. Because in real life, I'm under the impression, in real life outside of the internet, the diaspora wars is BS. That's why I don't engage in them. Imagine telling that kid from Philly, those group of 17-year-olds, oh, yo, you don't need to, just take a trip to New York City. You don't need to go to the continent. Them kids was overly elated that a group of parents took interest in them and took them to the continent of Africa. Big salute to whatever that organization name is, because, again, that was the best video I saw on this app in a while, man. Hopefully more comes out of it, and hopefully we can replicate it in other cities. Salute to them.
What's up, y'all? Hello. So I don't even do TikTok like that. Like, I have an account, but I don't really post. I guess I should post more. But I just wanted to make this video to say thank you to everybody who's been reaching out to me based upon, learning about my involvement in the Philly to Ghana trip that just occurred, in which we brought a group of 20 young boys from Philly to Ghana last week. They just left last week. So I just wanted to tell people a little bit about myself. So I am from Southwest. I'm a native Southwest Philly John who's actually been living abroad for almost 10 years now. I split my time between Paris, France, and Accra, Ghana. That's a whole other story in terms of how I picked these two locations. But since I've been abroad, I've always wanted to give other kids, and more specifically Philly kids if possible, this experience to come abroad, because I know like how life-changing this experience is. And it was actually like a study abroad experience that gave me the opportunity to go abroad. I didn't go abroad for the first time until I was in law school, and I did a study abroad program. So to give these kids that opportunity while they're teens, because the age groups of the kids who just came, they were from, I want to say 13 to 19, and we did everything for them. We got them their passports, yellow fever shot, visas, and all that. So these are kids who now at the age of 13 have a passport and have experienced the world, left Philly, left America, went to Africa, and they've had that experience at a young age, and I didn't even get that until I was in my 20s. But anyway, yeah, so when I connected with Anton, so Anton Moore, he is the founder and CEO of Unity in the Community nonprofit in Philly, which mentors young black boys in Philly, gives them all types of opportunities, such as the opportunity you just had just now to come to Ghana, but they also travel across the states, taking, different trips across the states for different reasons. He teaches them trades, life skills, great organization. So I connected with him. He said he wanted to bring some of his kids to Africa. And I was like, yo, I'm from Philly and I'm in Ghana. Like, let me help you plan it. And I ended up like planning the whole thing with my other Philly chick, Keisha Bird, who is the owner of Travel Deeper travel group, which specializes in African trips. So it was actually like totally Philly planned. We had Philly on the ground here in Ghana planning it, working back with the people, working with the people back at home in Philly to curate this experience. And I feel like that was like a much needed element because we knew what would work and wouldn't work. Me and Keisha, you know, being from Philly, and we actually literally from a block away from each other in Philly. I'm from 56 and Malcolm. She's from 55th and Malcolm in Southwest. And we never met until we met here in Ghana, and we just clicked instantly. So, you know, us being from Philly, we knew like what would work and what wouldn't work and what we needed to do for these kids here, like what they would like, and we made it happen. And we're so honored to see everybody inspired by this, and we hope that this sparks a trend. Yeah, so we did a lot of activities, which also included some service projects because they really wanted to get back to the community while they were here. We did a beach cleaning. They built desks for local school students. They also got an opportunity to meet local kids, and so it was cool for them to see like their peers across the world here in Africa, people who look just like them, their same age, but to see how they living over here. And they were so inspired by it. They truly had a ball. And to me, this was like such a dream come true because, again, this is something I've always wanted to do. And my whole life mission is to connect those of us in the diaspora and to bring more of us back home. I am a dual citizen in Ghana, so I have my Ghanaian citizenship. I was one of the 524 people who received Ghanaian citizenship last November. So look that up and you can learn more about that. And one of the things I told the Ghanaian government when I got my citizenship was like, I'm going to help contribute to the brain gain in terms of bringing the best minds back here to the continent to help build and develop the continent, to help it flourish. And this type of program to bring local youth here, cultural exchange, this is just like one of the projects that I'm working on in terms of like bridging the gap between us. But I also do things like connect people who want to move here, who want to start a business here, who want to volunteer here. So if that's you, hit me up, reach out, and hope to see you on the side.
What happened in Philadelphia this week is bigger than a feel-good story. It's bigger than a viral clip. It's bigger than a group of teenagers taking a trip. What we witnessed is a blueprint, a living, breathing example of what happens when a community decides to show up for its young people consistently, intentionally, and with vision. And the reason this story is hitting so many of us so deeply online is because it cuts through the noise we are used to seeing. Instead of trauma, we are seeing transformation. Instead of statistics, we are seeing solutions. Instead of hopelessness, we are watching hope actually take form. A group of Philadelphia teens, 20 young men, mostly between the ages of 15, 16, and 17, boarded a plane to Ghana. Some of them had never been out of their neighborhood. Many had never been out of the city. And yet, here they were, traveling nearly 5,000 miles across the world because a group of men, parents, and community leaders decided that these kids deserve to see more than the violence and the struggle around them. They deserve to see possibility, and more and unity in the society, in the community took on the role that so many of us talked about online but rarely see executed. They pulled these kids out of the everyday circle, schools, neighborhood, streets, pressure, instability, danger, and replaced it with carpentry, with trade skills, with mentorship, with brotherhood. They replaced the narrative, they replaced the environment, they replaced the expectations placed on these boys' lives. And then they added the missing piece, exposure. Exposure is the silent curriculum that separates those who dream from those who believe they can actually achieve. When you show a young man the world, you expand the size of his imagination. When you expand his imagination, you change the decisions he thinks are valuable to him. A kid who sees the world doesn't fear stepping outside his block. A kid who sees Africa doesn't believe the lie that his life only matters inside the borders of his city. A kid who shakes hands with business owners in Ghana starts to understand that he has value everywhere. his skills, his ideas, his identity, his culture, and that is why this story is resonating. Because for decades, black youth in America have been shown the same recycled narrative: danger, chaos, lack of opportunity, lack of options. The media paint them with one brush. Every headline talks about violence, every statistics paints the worst picture, every news clip shows the same neighborhoods, the same blocks, the same strategies, and suddenly here comes a community saying, no, they are worth more than the headlines. They are bigger than the stacks, and we are going to prove it. One of the things a 17-year-old named Kami Blackson said something powerful. He said that the learning a trade saved him because most kids don't even know what a way out looks like. Think about that for a moment. Not that they don't know how to get out. They don't even know what out looks like. That is how closed off some of these kids' walls are. They are trapped inside a mental map with no roads drawn. What Unity in the community did was withdraw the map, and this is why so many black Americans are reacting so emotionally to this. Because there is a universal understanding in our community that exposure saves lives, mentorship saves lives, being taken seriously saves lives, discipline, structure, skills, purpose, all of those things save lives. But what saves a mind faster than anything is simply seeing something different, seeing another path, seeing another country, seeing another version of yourself reflected back to you from across an ocean. These kids didn't go on a vacation, they went on a transformation. They stepped onto that plane as kids from Philly. They are coming back as young men who understand the global size of their potential. This is what it means when we talk about breaking circles. You don't break a circle by yelling at kids about what not to do. You break a circle by showing them something new to run toward. Show them a trade skill. Show them carpentry. Show them plumbing. Show them engineering. Show them Africa. Show them history. Show them culture. Show them pride. Show them themselves. And what I think is especially powerful about this moment is that this wasn't politicians stepping in. It was celebrities. It wasn't celebrities. It wasn't billionaires. It wasn't corporation. It was everyday black men, fathers, mentors, chaperones, men who woke up one day and said, we are tired of funerals, we are tired of the news, we are tired of seeing our boys lose their future because their future even starts. They didn't wait for a grant. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for a camera crew. They just acted. And the video went viral because people recognized authenticity. They recognized real community work. They recognized real leadership. They recognized what real care looks like. We are too used up to seeing young black boys in mugshots, in courtrooms, in strategies, and seeing them smiling on a plane headed to Ghana feels like a shock to the system. That alone is dismantling narrative before they even begin. You can't tell these kids that Africa don't like African Americans. They were welcomed. You can't tell them Africa is poverty and struggle. They saw it for themselves. You can't tell them their heritage is something to be ashamed of. They walked on the soil of it, they experienced it, and in doing so, they shattered the myths that fuel division. The truth is, community saviors don't always look like superheroes. Sometimes they look like a group of black men from Philly who picked up carpentry tools and plane tickets. Sometimes they look like a parent who decides their child deserves to see the world. Sometimes they look like someone saying, let's go, I will take you, I will guide you, I will show you the world is bigger than your block. This is what so many cities need. Not more police, not more speeches, not more statistics, not more exposure, more skills, more mentorship, more travel, more community-led initiatives that take responsibilities for the lives of the next generation instead of waiting for someone else to step in. Everything about this story is symbolic. Symbolic of change, symbolic of hope, symbolic of what is possible when the village thinking replaces individualism, symbolic of what happens when black men step up as leaders instead of being portrayed as threats, symbolic of what the next generation needs more than anything, a vision of themselves in the future. These kids are going to look back one day at 25, at 30, at 40 and remember this trip. They will remember that the plane ride, they will remember the food, they will remember the people, they will remember the sights, they will remember the feeling of stepping onto African soil. They will remember that someone believed in them enough to send them across the world. and that memory will influence every decision they make, what jobs they go after, what risks they are willing to take, what dreams they are allow themselves to chase, what kind of men they decide to become. The impact is immeasurable. This is not just a trip, it's a seed planted in the minds of a young black boys who will grow into young black men who understand that their identity is global, their culture is powerful, their future is limitless, and their community is worth coming back to and rebuilding. This is what a solution looks like. This is what hope in action looks like. This is what black leadership looks like. This is what investing in youth looks like. And this, what happened in Philly, should not be a one-time event. It should be a model, a standard, a template that other cities study and replicate. Because saving a generation requires effort, but it also requires imagination, and Philly showed the imagination. What those parents and Chevrons did, that is what rebuilding a community looks like. That is what rewriting a future looks like. That is what breaking a circle looks like. And most importantly, that is what loving your people looks like.
And if you watched up to this extent, don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, why not just share your thought? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.